I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, good evening, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Shanette Johnson. Usually, I'm here on the first and third Monday of each month, but last Monday, we had a little discrepancy within the date. So I'm here today, and I'm actually in Denver. I flew out to Denver on Friday to visit my husband and meet with his defense counsel. But before I get into that, I have a couple of things that I want to talk about that have been weighing on my heart. First, I want to go to this month is considered Black History Month. And for throughout the whole month, me and my daughters and a couple of my friends, we have been talking about how our jobs is not honoring Black History Month. Usually, we really usually they will have things out or talking about the different what our ancestors have contributed to this great supposedly great nation. But we celebrated everything else from Valentine's Day to President's Day. We celebrate every other ethnicity holiday. But when it came down for Black history, wasn't nothing put on at the workplace. Actually, my baby daughter, where she works at, they went to the head people and they said, hey, for President's Day, you guys told us to dress up in red, white, and blue. And we came here in red, white, and blue. Valentine's Day, we did all red, put stuff out for Valentine's Day. But not once have you guys mentioned anything about Black History Month. So I guess they went on and they approved it. And they told them, well, you guys get the 27th. And you guys can order some shirts, but the shirts won't be in until next month. And they are pretty upset about that, because they feel that they should have had a chance to celebrate, bring their history, celebrate their history as well as President's Day and Valentine's Day. And now they're receiving backlash. Backlash from their fellow co-workers and a higher up. And I just told them, I said, you know what? Regardless if don't nobody celebrate our history, we can celebrate it ourselves. If it's not being taught, if our history is not being taught in the schools, it's up to the parents and the grandparents to teach our history to our children. One thing they cannot do is erase the greatness that blacks, our black ancestors, or hopefully I'm saying it right, had contributed. We have so much that our young people probably don't know what they invented. We invented the stop sign, the stoplight. Madam C.J. Walker, straighten the cone. We all know that. George Washington Carver. We have so many great people out there that our children needs to know about. One of my concern is our children. Our children, especially our male black males, are a higher rate in this prison system. When I did my research, it was over 700,000 black men are incarcerated. Some of them are in there wrongfully. Just don't take my word. Do your research. I did mine. So we need to get a hold to our children. People may say that I'm racist or what I'm saying is racist, but it's not. Who's going to stand up for our children? Who's going to fight for our young black men and women? I am so tired of seeing history repeat itself. Emmett Till. I seen on the TV, or it was on a platform where a mother is grieving the loss of her son. I believe he was 26, 27. I want to say his name was Daquan. Let me make sure that I have his name right. Coming out of Grand Rapid, where he was on a bike and they got him into an apartment building. And I know you guys, hopefully you guys seen this. He went into an apartment building and they restrained him. He was down on his knees, I believe his mom was saying, and a couple of other people was reporting. And a officer shot him 3 times in the back of the head for no reason. They already had him restrained. I can feel that mother's pain. Everyone should feel that mother's pain. We seen it with George Floyd. Now here it is again. Here it is again. Texas. Oh, Texas. What you doing to our young men over there for standing their ground? When did stand your ground become a crime When did it become a crime? Is it only a crime because of the color of their skin? We have two young men, as you know, over in Texas. One getting ready to go start trial. His trial start in June, I believe. I believe Angela told me it started in June. This baby was at a track meet. He was where he's supposed to be at. And you had other people come and assault him. But he stood his ground because someone lost their life. And my heart goes out to that parent. Should no parent have to bury a child? But he put himself in a situation that he shouldn't have did, and he wind up losing his life. And now another young man has to go before the courts because of that. Then we have another young man. I don't know his name. Hopefully Angela can pin it for me. Angela been advocating, a lot of them been advocating on his behalf, and I believe he's currently out of jail because they have revoked his bail. A young lady spit on him. Hmm. What's 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 your reaction if somebody spit on you? What will be your reaction? I don't know the whole story behind his, but he also Christopher. Oh, I can't see it. His name is Christopher. What is that? I can't. Well, I can't see his name. It's at the bottom of the screen. I can't see it. Christopher Niehaus. Stand his ground. Right. Right.
And
Exactly.
I tell everybody it goes back to um that amendment number 13, the 13th amendment, where they allow free labor for those that are incarcerated. We know that in the state of Texas, that there's a lawsuit pending currently where the private prison system is suing the prison system of Texas because TDCJ, because they did not house, they didn't fill all those beds. They had an agreement that they would fill a certain amount of beds. They did not fill those beds, and now they are being sued. Um, for those that don't know and don't understand,
um I don't know what happened to Angela, but also Angela was talking about that um it's a lawsuit over there in Texas. It's also a lawsuit over here in Denver against the governor for free labor for the inmates that's over here. Free labor. They're holding them longer so they can get free labor, so they can get paid. Everything, we have a conversation. Oh, let me go back. In Texas, the young boy name was Tristan Tristan Waters. Was it Tristan Water? Where he was drugged, and they ain't doing nothing about that. A young boy, he was drugged, and his mother is speaking out against that. It's so many things that's happening
are you there?
out here to our young men
Reason I don't know what's going
and
on,
our young women, but we don't have
but
nobody that's gonna speak out for him. Angela, how is Tristan doing?
well, his mom is definitely gonna start. She had let up on advocating and doing stuff, but it's been 2 years. It's finna be 2 years since this happened with him. We are gonna get back to advocating. She's gonna get back to advocating. So y'all will probably start seeing a lot more about his case. But definitely, there's a lot that needs to take place in the state of Texas concerning our kids. It's just out of control. And these people think that they can do any and everything to our kids, and that has to stop. And we got to let them know that we're not settling. We're not settling. And I tell people all the time, we are not our ancestors. And I don't say it in a negative way, because guess what? All that they went through, all that they endured, it was for us to not have to go through
Right.
it. So um, I stand 10 toes down on advocating and showing people that we have rights. We are humans, and we deserve the same respect, and we deserve the same thing that everybody else upon this earth deserve. We are humans too.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's it's a shame that, don't nobody want to come out, really not coming out. You have everything else that's camouflage the injustice that's going on in Texas all over. Everybody is focused on one thing. Why can't we just focus on getting keeping our young kids out of prison? Why we can't do that? Why can't we focus on um speaking the truth? instead of putting out false narratives about someone, someone family, because they stood their ground. Why can't we just be who God created us to be? Why should we be judged by the color of our skin? Why? It doesn't make no sense. Let me tell you this. Tell you guys this. When Southwest had did this whole thing where they give you they assign you seating, except the first couple of rows on the plane, you can purchase them seats. They're called priority seat or more leg seat. So I don't like sitting in the back. I don't like sitting in the middle. I like sitting in the front. So I purchased my seat, 3A, window seat. I was priority one to board. So about time I got on the plane, it was a couple already sitting in a seat, but the window seat was unoccupied because that was my seat. That whole right when they seen me, you should have seen their faces. It wasn't like, oh hi, come on in. It was like, oh, I gotta sit by her. So I get in. I'm getting myself all together and stuff. The lady, she put down the armrest. This armrest, I didn't care. I had an armrest over here, and if I wanted to lean on something, I was gonna lean this way. She decided she's trying to make me uncomfortable. And I just laughed because you gonna keep on and you gonna get choked messing, keep bothering me. So we taxing in down the taxway, whatever. And she decide she want to lean like this on her husband, and now she got her feet towards me, towards my feet, and she just sitting up there bouncing that just feet, and her feet just kept like hitting me, like kicking me, like she just kicking me. So I looked at her, and she on her little iPad and stuff. Now we up in the air. So the sun was bright. We up in the air, and they on their iPad. Remember, I got the window seat, and I got a shade. What I do? I let up the window shade so the light can go all across. So you trying to make me uncomfortable. You don't kick me twice. You're not supposed to look at no movie now because I'm gonna let all the sunlight on in, and I'm not letting it down until we touch down. And that's how we roll. So then I guess the sunlight was bothering her. She gonna put her foot on my leg. So now I don't have to move her foot off my leg. Then she don't kick me and everything. So now I'm getting irritated. And I looked at her and I called on God. And the reason why I did that, because I'm not fed material. And my husband said, well, you should have just went on it. Just should have just told her, hey, knock it off. I said, nope. I said, you know what? I said, I did right. I held my composure and I called out on God. I called him 3 times. I was like, Lord, Oh, Jesus, you got to help me. You got to give me some strength now. Because I was this much from, probably hitting her or cussing her out. But then she would have flipped the narrative. She wouldn't have told what she did. I would have looked like the aggressor because the color of my skin. She would have flipped it. And then I would have been the one coming off that plane in handcuffs. Not her, after she done kicked me 3 or 4 times and tried to make me feel uncomfortable. That's what happened to me this past Friday. And so I had to just like evaluate it, the whole situation. And then I start seeing everything that was going on with our young men, with our young women and stuff. And it made me mad because everybody is always looking for the blacks. Where's the black people at? Where's the African American people at? You guys gonna stand up for us? Well, who in the hell, gonna stand up for us? Who's gonna stand up? They say it's a lot of people out there, but where they at? Where they at? We all are fighting the same thing. We are all fighting the same thing. But because the color of our skins, we get it more. We get it worse. But everybody don't think so. My 5-year-old grandson was told by another 5-year-old that he was an ugly, we're gonna say, N-word. That 5-year-old called him an ugly. And I said, oh yeah. I said, he called you that? I said, you know what that word is? He was like, no, Granny. And I said, you are very handsome. I said, don't never think that you're ugly and that ain't who you are. So we got through that. Then he comes to my house. My grandson comes to my house 2 weeks ago. And he's sitting there and I'm talking to him and he said, Granny, do you know what he did to me? I said, well, what did he do to you this time, man? And he said, he locked me in the bathroom. I said, what? He locked me in the bathroom. And my 5-year-old grandson was showing me how he was banging on the door saying, let me out. Let me out. I called my daughter. I told her, if you don't go down to that school, I'm going. Because there's no way he should be getting called out of his name. There's no way they should lock him in the bathroom. So now, when he has to go to the restroom, he holds it. Because he won't go back in that bathroom. He went to the nurse's office. He went to the office and he asked them, could he use the restroom? And they told him, oh, go to the other bathroom. He said no. So I told my daughter, I said, you better call him. You better call him. I done had it up to here. I done had it up to here. I done had it up to here. And I try to make sense of it. I try to walk the way God wants me to walk. I try to use my voice the way God wants me to walk, to use it. I try not to offend nobody. But it seems like the more I stay quiet, the more I don't speak up, I get offended. But when I speak up and I speak out, I'm the aggressor. And at this point, I don't care no more. I'm going to continuously speak up and I'm going to speak out because I done had enough. We need to teach our children right from wrong. And we need to teach our children our heritage, the greatness. Read to them. We don't need to be up in the clubs. Parents, when we have our children, if you have your children young, clubbing, all of that stuff is over. You have a responsibility. And the Bible tells you, train up a child in a way he should go. I know I probably done got off subject or whatever, but I just needed to vent. I needed to get that out. You guys, we got to love on each other. We have to love each other. We playing into, I don't know, but we got to love one another because what we do on this side of the dirt is going to follow us on the other side, and that's when we're going to be judged. Treat people how you want to be treated. Because you will have to answer. You will have to answer. Just know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end. You guys keep our children, pray for our children every day, cover them every day. I don't care what ethnic group you are in, pray for your child every day when they walk out of that door. I don't care if they zero age to 99. Cover your child. I will see you guys back here next Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just know that I love you guys and I'm praying for each and every one of you. Stay blessed, stay safe, and love yourself and God. I will see you guys. Have a good evening.